What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now,
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, it is the evening before the actual main event, which is tomorrow, which is the regional that I'm looking to attend in Tamworth. Now this is my first regional that I've actually gone to, or going to should I say. So it's going to be a bit of a new experience for me. So my main aim is just to not misplay, just to enjoy myself, get a feel for some more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, just so I can develop more as a player. Now I haven't really been uploading this week, mainly because I've been at odds as to what deck I'm going to be playing, and it's been a very difficult struggle to be able to decide what to play. I've been testing quite a few decks. I was actually going to take Evil Twins, but then upon testing I just found that the deck was a little bit too linear. It just kept it put up some decent boards, but then at the same time your plays were very telegraphed and it just didn't have much of a follow-up. It was just basically all gas, and if your strategy got stopped, it was very difficult to recover, especially playing into established boards as well. Then I was thinking about playing Mech Knights. I went with a go second heavy build, and that did see some success. I took it to a couple of locals, but going second in this format, ladies and gents, is just a crazy die roll. Even if you deck out with like loads and loads of going second options, you're still coming up against a formidable number of negations, interactions, floodgates. And I just thought to myself, you know what, I need something that's a little bit more flexible. So I've actually decided on a deck, and I'm actually in the lab at the moment trying to perfect the ins and outs of the deck basically, and just trying to squeeze in a few more going second cards to be able to play, because the deck in of itself does really well going first, but it can also go second as well. So I'm trying to find that balance, and I'm going to start doing a few test hands. So wish me luck, ladies and gents. Now I'm actually going to show you what I'm playing. So as you can see, I'm looking to play Harpy Tri-Brigade. Now the reason why I've gone with Harpy Tri-Brigade is mainly because I thought to myself, you know what is the most degenerate card in the game that I've got access to, which I don't really have to think about playing, think about using in terms of plays, because I've played Harpies quite a bit. If you didn't know, I play a lot off camera, so I do a lot of test hands, and I just thought Harpy's Featherstorm is just a blowout. It's basically a turn skip against some of those back row strategies, and in addition to that, Harpies do really well against back row, especially with Harpies Hunting Ground, especially summoning your Harpies to the field. You can actually just nuke a lot of the back row. So I decided to go with Harpies for that reason. It's a little bit flexible, but your normal summon does tend to die, so I decided to go with the Tri-Brigade engine just to give it a little bit more oomph. Now I'm currently messing about with ratios. I'm trying to see which ones fit the deck, fit the theme of the deck, whilst also being able to squeeze in a few cards like Talents, that new card Wing Requital. I was seeing if I could find a way of squeezing that in somehow, but nevertheless we're in the lab. Hopefully it goes well and I come up with a build, as the regional is tomorrow and I still need to do a couple of test stands. So yes, ladies and gents, wish me luck, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Okay guys, it is the day of reckoning. I've had a half decent sleep. Haven't really had that much to eat. I've only had a bowl of cereal, which is not exactly enough for me because I like to eat a lot of food basically. But anyway, we are here, regionals. We're about to set off. I need to get some fuel. Probably gonna get myself a coffee. I'm wearing my bright yellow hoodie just in case I'm crying in a corner and a responsible adult needs to come and find me and take me home, because I'm not gonna say I'm feeling too confident, but like I said, we're just gonna go there. We're gonna try not to misplay. It's our first regional. I'm not expecting wonderful things, but I am gonna try, and I'm just gonna basically just give it my best shot basically, and just see what happens. So yeah, ladies and gents, we are on it. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna be able to record any matches. Probably not. I will ask, but we'll see anyway. Yeah, let's go. Harpy Tri-Brigade, let's go. Let's get it going. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, just arrived. I'm not even too sure where I'm supposed to be going. I've just got to the car park. Obviously, we have to wear masks because of COVID restrictions, so it's going to be an interesting time, especially when your opponent's trying to activate some effects. But nevertheless, it is what it is, like I always say. Now, I just got to find this place, man. I managed to get myself a... let's not spill it over my deck quickly, see? Yeah. Got myself a Costa coffee just because I was struggling this morning. So hopefully that will wake me up and put me in the mood to be making some plays. But anyway, ladies and gents, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, we are probably about 15 to 20 minutes away from the main opening event. There's some high caliber players here, quality players. Sanctum squad's here. There's a few other smaller YouTubers as well. There's a few players that I've seen around on the local circuit. So it's going to be an interesting time. Who knows what we're going to be coming up against? I can't see many back row strategies, but nevertheless, we shall see, ladies and gents. We shall see. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting time. I wish I'd done some test hands, but hey, it is what it is. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, we are done with game one. Actually lost the first round 2-1 to strikers. I made a huge misplay in game three. So game one, basically I got out resourced. Game two, I evenly matched him, and then that was all she wrote. And then game three actually went first, and sorry, I won game one, lost game two, and then game three actually went first. And I set up the wind barrier statue, which was a super duper misplay. I should have put in my Apex Avian, but I decided not to and put the wind barrier statue in, and I forgot. Obviously, Sky Strikers have a load of wind monsters that they can summon, as well as having access to DPE, which was ultimately what won him the game, to be honest. He out-resourced me. He drew impermanence quite a few times, to be honest, and he impermed all my Tri-Brigade monster effects, so it was a little bit frustrating in that sense. He just had all the answers, but you know what, nevertheless, he was a cool guy. We had 3 or 4 minutes left on the round, so I'll have to catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, we are back after how many rounds we played? 3. I'm currently X2. We played 3 rounds. I lost my first 2, and you know what, the record doesn't actually do it justice. So I lost the Sky Striker. I had major misplay in game 3, which actually lost me the game because I was actually up in terms of advantage, and because I summoned my barrier statue and I forgot to side him out. I should have sided in Simorg, and it does nothing against Sky Striker, especially with DPE in the deck, as well as the Sky Striker spells and traps. It just basically out advantaged me. And then I played against one of my buddies. It was a nice back and forth game. To be fair, I barrier statued him in game 2, and in game 3 I made a bit of a misplay, so he went to pop my back row, which was a hysteric sign, and actually chained Harpy's Featherstorm, and realistically I should have just let it resolve. He would have popped it, he would have lost that negate, he would have popped it, I would have drawn 3 in the end phase and I'd be able to pop off with the amount of card advantage I had, but instead I chained Harpy's Featherstorm, which negated his effects for the rest of the turn and kind of slowed him down, to be honest. But he did top deck, he had in his hand Imperial Order, which just literally just crippled my deck. I could not play around it, didn't have enough advantage on field to be able to do stuff, so yeah, it is what it is. But in the last round that I played against Ice Barriers, featuring Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, which was a Swift 2-0. Obviously, DPE is a bit of a problem, so people are trying to shotgun him and get him out everywhere. Literally, most games I've played, I've come up against DPE, so it's been a bit of an issue. But I managed to call by the grave DPE, so he couldn't come back, and then I just basically out-advantaged him with Simorg. Simorg is actually MVP, to be honest. Just constant resources, especially when you summon Perfumer off Simorg's end phase effect. You get to plus with her her add of like Elegant Egotist, which means that you're definitely going to be able to special summon a monster the following turn. So it's all in all, it hasn't been too bad. It's a nice little experience. Definitely a few things that I could do differently. I've been misplaying like crazy, like the first 2 games actually. So what I've been doing is using my Tri-Brigade monsters and summoning them off their effects, but then summoning them into an extra monster zone, pointing to a monster that already exists in the main monster zone, so then I can't further carry my link plays, which really frustrated me. But I managed to sort it out in game 3, and going forward, that's what I'm going to do. I think there's going to be 3 rounds left. I'm not too sure how it's going to pan out, but I just want to leave with a respectable score, ladies and gents, and just kind of like put a good show in. So start to pick up a little bit momentum. We'll see how the rest of it does. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, ladies and gents, the tournament regional is done and dusted. I didn't do too well, I'm not even gonna lie. I probably should have done a lot better. My result didn't necessarily reflect how the games panned out, but nevertheless, I lost a lot of games. So I finished with a record of 1 win, 1 draw, and 4 losses. All my losses, I lost 2-1, so I didn't get swept, so to speak, but I did lose 4. It wasn't in a row, but there was a few things that I should have definitely done. So just going into my matchups, I think my last few matchups were against some Shadow Aldrich, I think it was Salaman Greats, and PKs. So against PKs, literally he won the dice roll, and that kind of determined a lot of my games today, mainly because of my own deck building. I feel I didn't have enough going second cards in the main deck to start with, so going second, it was a little bit of a struggle, especially playing into established boards. On top of that, I just didn't see the cards that I needed to see, so I will talk about my deck later on, and I'll show you a deck list following this. But yeah, game 1, he just set up a crazy board. He had Utopic Future Draco, he had DPE, and he had 2 Fog Blades set, and I literally just had no answer to anything. I couldn't do anything. I tried to play into his negates, but he just blew me out the water and then OTK'd me on the following turn. Game 2 against PKs, I literally won, literally got the barrier statue. He summoned, is it Zero Graph, the one that's got 1,000 attack? I'll put an image on screen for you. But then he tried to attack into my barrier statue, and I was like, it's got 1,000 attack and the barrier statue is 1,000 defense, and he was like, oh. And then I proceeded to just OTK him from there, bounced it back to hand with Harpy's Cyber Slash Harpy, and then OTK'd him. And then game 3, it was more or less more she wrote. Set up a crazy board. I did side in game 3, but I just didn't see anything. I think I opened up 5 monsters and then drew into a 6 monster. So then obviously against your Fog Blades, against your Future Draco, against DPE, it's just a major problem anyway. So that was that. And then I played against Shadow Aldrich. Now, Shadow Aldrich was an interesting match. We actually had a 30-minute game 1, which was absolutely crazy. We were grinding for ages, loads and back and forth. I banished Shadow Construct, I banished 2 Aldriches, I wiped his back row. He was literally on top deck mode, and then he was recycling his Aldrich traps and spells to be able to just keep grinding, basically. He did play 3 Aldrich in the main deck, which was interesting, and I can see why he did that. But it was an interesting game. Game 2, I literally opened 5 spells, and he just OTK'd me over 2 turns. Well, I say OTK'd, he just beat me down over 2 turns, basically. I couldn't summon a monster. I think it was Elegant Egotist that I had, and Hysteric Sign, and I just couldn't do anything, to be honest. So and then we didn't go into game 3, mainly because that was time. So we just said, you know what, we'll call it a draw, because we had like 40 seconds left for game 3. So that was never going to happen. And then the final game, I played against Salamangre. And to be honest, ladies and gents, this has been the story of today's regional for myself anyway. Going second, playing into established boards, has been a major problem. And that is largely due down to my deck building. For this event specifically, there wasn't enough going second cards, because I came up against Salamangre. He didn't put up a threatening board. It was only like Salamangre Raw. I think he had Rage set as well, and Sunlight Booth, and probably like 1 hand trap in Ash. And I literally couldn't do it. I literally just folded. He roared a couple of effects, and I just couldn't do anything. Ended up setting a monster. When I went first, ladies and gents, it's literally an FTK. I just won. Like, anytime I went first, it was just game. Barrier statue plus Harpy's Feather Storm and Cyber Slash Harpy. Just literally game, ladies and gents. You just bounce the normal summon. You activate Harpy's Feather Storm, bounce the normal summon, and then that's it. It's game. There's nothing else that can be done. Nothing else that can be done. So I won that game. And then game 3, he got to set up, and he just OTK me with access code talk. I couldn't do anything. He had too many resources set. It was crazy. So all in all, ladies and gents, just something for me to think about. Basically, I just need to properly refine my decks. Now, I didn't actually prepare for this event as much as I would like to. I was umming and ahhing about what deck I was going to play, and I was backwards and forwards between probably about 3 or 4 decks that I really wanted to play, that I enjoyed, and I settled on Harpy Tri Brigade, which I did enjoy the deck. And when it pops off, even if going through hand traps is not a problem, but playing into established boards with 3, 4, 5 negates, the way I built the deck, it just didn't function as I would like it to. And there was, on top of that, there was a couple of cards that I just didn't see. Never seen Triple Tactics Talents. Didn't really. I seen Infinite Impermanence once. Didn't see dark ruler no more, even though I sided it in. I seen evenly matched once when I sided it in. So just a few things for me to think about when I'm actually processing or this deck building. I need to definitely just throw in a couple of going second cards, and that's more on myself. On top of that, I think I made a few misplays in the opening couple of games. I don't know, maybe I was nervous, maybe it was just me trying to settle into the event, but I was basically summoning off my Tri-Brigade monsters. I was summoning extra monsters to extra monster zones where their arrows were pointing to zones in the main monster zone that already contained monsters. So then I couldn't actually do anything apart from link off the monsters that I just special summoned, which was just not optimal, ladies and gents. And that was a lot down to me. After that, I kind of had a little moment, had a little bit of drink of water, and established what I should have been doing properly, and I actually started playing properly, and it was a lot better from then. But every game that I played, ladies and gents, I lost 2-1. I didn't get swept, but it was just an interesting experience. Sanctum squad was there actually, and he did really well. I think Jake, so I think he finished second overall, which was just fantastic for them. So shout out to Sanctum squad. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to another regionals, ladies and gents, and I want to probably try and go to another one, if not before Christmas, after Christmas, as early as possible, just so I can basically just get back into that competitive environment and play again, because it was a learning experience that I've learned a lot from, basically. But yeah, nevertheless, enjoyable experience. It's given me a few things to think about, a few things that I'm going to be changing, especially with my approach to deck building. Like, dice roll has been crippling me, and whoops, it's my, sorry about that, but yeah, dice roll's been crippling me, so I definitely need to put in a few more going second cards. But nevertheless, ladies and gents, hopefully you enjoyed the content, and I will give you a quick rundown of my deck list in a moment. So catch you on the next one. Peace.